Hello everyone, it's Julie from sproutsandstems.com here, and today's video is going to be all about pruning pothos for bushier growth. It's going to be a little bit of a companion video to my last one, which was all about how to propagate pothos, how to grow pothos from cuttings. This is like the third time I am doing this intro because Giselle keeps playing with noisy toys and distracting me, but really quick, before I get into the video, please take 2 seconds to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any new planty content from me. Check out the links in the description to my Patreon or YouTube membership. Both are basically the same, just differences based off each platform, but check those out for exclusive content, more of what I post here, but stuff that I don't post here. Access to message me for plant help and some other perks. Also in the description will be a link to where I keep any plants or supplies or resources that I mention in my videos. And now I will get into pruning pothos for bushier growth. So happy I finally got through that intro. Let's see. Okay, as I mentioned, this is going to be a little bit of a companion video, kind of like hand-in-hand video, and I'll have that video link somewhere as well. We're going to be looking at the same plant. So I'm going to start with the same cutting off stems footage that I used last week, but I'm going to be talking about it from a different angle. And then we'll look at the growth points on this plant and where they are now. And then I will finish by taking you to another plant that has a little more progress on it that might be easier to see. Okay, so here we are, same footage from last week, and that is because propagating and pruning are the same function, the same mechanism on the plant, just opposite. If you're unfamiliar with propagation and you're totally new, I definitely recommend you watch my most recent video that'll be linked somewhere in the description. But in this clip, I'm taking 3 cuttings, which I want to propagate, but what that is doing at the same time is I'm also pruning my plant. The most important part to this is finding a node. And nodes are all over the plant. They are the growth points along the stems where leaves, aerial roots, and other stems grow out of. So you want to make sure when you are pruning, you trigger that growth mechanism. So that means that you want to cut right above a node about 1/4 inch or so, and that is going to say to the plant, hey, something's happening, something just happened, keep growing. When you're propagating, you want to cut below a node because you want the node to be on the cutting to grow new roots. When you're pruning, you want to cut just above a node on the plant. That will cause new growth, a new stem to, most likely, it's not always guaranteed, but eventually grow right out of that node that you cut above. Also, something else that I wanted to mention is that I know the terms above and below a node can be confusing because, like, if the vine is hanging down, what does that mean? It means if you point the vine up towards the ceiling to cut above a node to prune, you are literally cutting above a node if the vine is pointing up towards the ceiling, and below, you're just cutting right underneath a node. So I hope that helps clarify things. So you can see now some plants have leaves that are very compact and close together like this plant. And so it's really easy to just cut right in the middle of 2 nodes and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. And welcome back. Welcome back to the present. When I first cut this, I tie little pieces of twine onto where I cut just because I wanted to make sure to keep track of things. And okay, first, let's get out of the way. Not that much has happened, which is why I'm going to show you another plant. That video, I think, was taken around January 20th. That sounds about right. 2 out of the 3 nodes that I cut just above have a teeny tiny amount of growth happening. So here's where I cut. And you see that new little, it's honestly too small right now to tell what it is. It might just be an aerial root, or it might eventually turn into a stem. But the point is, there is growth coming out of that node. You see right there. It's still going to be a while longer till anything like big happens with that, but at least we can get an idea of the process, and it's pretty cool to watch it happen, even if it takes a little while. And then there was, I don't even know, this one is so tiny and hard to see. There's a similar but smaller thing happening. You literally like can't even see it. Can just, if you look at the little dot above my nail, I know that's like almost impossible to do. But just in case you can see it, that's what that is. It's a similar thing happening, but it's just a little smaller, and it doesn't look like anything is happening on the third node yet. But like I said, the point is things are happening. That is how you prune plants. You want to make strategic snips so that new growth will come in. And now I'm going to take you over to my neon pothos that I've done this a billion times with, and it has a lot of good examples of new growth around the nodes. Okay, my first stop on this plant is going to be this vine right here. You can see this chunk at various points. I cut on either side of it, and then one of those cuts caused this stem to sprout. Oops, don't hit the camera, Julie. One of those cuts caused this stem to sprout. I'm guessing this one, but not quite sure. It's been a few years, so I don't remember. I also cut here, and this stem popped out of that. And there's also little sprouts here and there in various places, but I haven't cut anything recently, so that's not from like any of these cuts. That's just like doing it on its own. And let's see, I know that there's more. This stem and this stem, which I'm going to point to, are not connected. It just kind of looks like they're connected like from behind, but they're not. This I also cut at one point, probably just because it was getting leggy and I just wanted to cut off the legginess. And then it sprouted this. You can see where I cut, and you can see the node. That's where it sprouted from. And now it's this beautiful vine that's growing up and around. And there's a few other examples, but those are some of the big ones. So that is how to prune pothos, or any plant, for bushier growth, a fuller plant. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you are currently trying to make a fuller plant of. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.